They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me a chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas beside get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said it, they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale. Yeah.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.
Hello everyone, how are we doing? Mr. Flynn back at it again for some awesome racing for the Ultimate Masters Team Racing League Season 2, and I tell you what, I am very, very hyped and very, very excited, and we will be getting under the way very, very, very shortly with the league race. I believe we're still getting a few more people into the lobby. And yeah, we do have Spain today, a awesome track that I am very, very excited for. So yes, hello to everyone in the chat. VJ, hello. Velocity Esports Racing, hello. ERT, hello. And everyone else, hello, how are you all doing? Hopefully your evening is off to a fantastic start, and I'm guessing we're going to see a few different teams rooting some different drivers, and we're going to see, is it going to be a third back-to-back win for some drivers who are very, very good at taking the top two at the moment, which is actually very, very insane. What I can do quickly is head on over to the Discord and have a look with so back-to-back wins for REL. Can they do another breaking streak this season, maybe, with some back-to-back wins once again? Like I say, we'll have to wait and see what happens, and we'll be getting away, like I said, very, very shortly. I've still got to get some more bits and bobs up on my screen, which is going to be a very handy F1 track map of the lovely circuit of Spain today, which I'll tell you what, I'm very excited for, because what I like about it is you got that is it the double right-hander now? You haven't got the chicane part before the start and finish, which is actually quite interesting. So we'll see how that gets on with some of the drivers. Obviously, you can't take it flat out, or maybe you can, slightly, but there is a slight lift. I've even watched professional esports players do it, and you are needing a very big lift in the double right-hander. But if there's a way, drivers will find that feature. Any ways then, whilst we're waiting for the lobby to get ready, we can actually head on over to the lovely calendar, and as you can see, we've done round number 1, which was the lovely track of I believe it was Austria. Yes, it was Austria. Then we had round number 2. That race was quite interesting, and Imola, yeah, that track was quite difficult for some drivers, but they got down and they got sorted, and it was all good in the end. Apart from the final lap, that was a bit chaotic and a little bit crazy to handle. And of course, today we have got the lovely track of Spain. Like I said, excited, cannot wait. And yeah, track temperature for tyres may be a little bit, just a little bit struggle, but we will see how that gets on. And then after Spain, we've got the lovely, lovely track of Canada. Oh, Canada, don't we love that track? Not my all-time favourite when I race on F1, because I'm always crashing into the I think it's the second turn of the track, somewhere in sector 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah, not the fastest, and it's not the prettiest sights to see, if I tell you myself. But like I say, we are just waiting to get going, and we're now getting loaded into the lobby with 25 seconds remaining. Sorry. So if you give me a few moments, we're going to get into a quick advert break, and then once that's finished, done and dusted, we'll then hop on over to the gameplay screen and see for some awesome qualifying action. Guys, I'll see you in a minute.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me a chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show where she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they could tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Telling the point out who said that they run it, bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale. Yeah.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora, fallo dolcemente, un anno e mezzo, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.
Well then, here we are in the lobby, and I might have forgot to press spectate, so that's why I am showing in a McLaren at the moment. I don't know if there's a way to fix that. Maybe I have to leave the lobby, or just go in the lobby and click spectate. But yeah, I may have forgotten to do that. So just ignore me on the track if you're racing, and yeah, we're just trying to forget about that and ignore that. Anyways then, we have got a few drivers currently out on the track, like Volcano in the AlphaTauri, followed by TTL in the Alfa Romeo as well. All these cars looking stunning, and the track is looking a little bit cold up there, it seems, and a little bit cloudy. So yeah, should be fine, hopefully. We'll see what happens though, as the leading car is going to be of course one of the AlphaTauris, and obviously you can see everyone else out on the track getting ready to prepare and start their lap times. And yes, we're going to go on board with Volcano, and we're going to see how they perform and start as they make their way through the final couple of turns in Sector 3. Of course, tyres, don't want them cold, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Here we go then, at the exit of turn number 14. DRS is about to be open, ERS is about to be on. Apparently he's in neutral. That's probably a little bit of a game glitch with EA themselves. On the rundown to turn number 1 of Volcano in the AlphaTauri. How is he going to do? Hopefully no major errors or issues. Riding on board with the driver now. And to be honest, stellar performance so far. No major issues. Hugging that inside curb to perfection. No major snaps, oversteer, understeer, etc. Stuff like that. A 21.3 for the first sector. Obviously he'll be lighting up the track with the first couple of purple sectors due to the fact that he is pushing quite hard, but he is also the first driver to set a lap time around this track. So it's a little banker lap at the moment, so we'll see how everybody performs and gets on. But so far, it's not looking too bad for himself. In Sector 2 now, to Sector 3 we go. Purple at 50.117. That's not a bad Sector 2 time there, but potentially his teammate could be finding a little bit more pace as we make ourselves around the final couple of turns. Oh, he's made a massive error there. In turns 12 and 13, he's back into the pit lane. That is a massive shock and a slight disappointment for himself. On board with Jamie. Crosses the line. That's a mega time. A 1:10.981. The Red Bull of Ariel crosses the line. And this was top 2, now to P3, a 111.094, and then we had Skip in the Williams, a 111.002, so not far off the 1:10s, same with P3 at the moment. They could potentially get into the 1:10s on their next lap if they decide to do one. Liam P4, a 1:11.214, not too bad there, lightly crossed the line just now, a 1:11.004. So some drivers quite close at the moment. The grid getting closer as always, as we love to see. But yeah, not too bad for the top 4 at the moment. But down from P5 at the moment down to P12, the gaps are starting to open up just a little bit, you know. NLR Liam, a 1:11.214, and then you've got Ryan in the Mercedes, a 1:11.403, and then Romania, a 1:11.455. So some drivers quite close on lap times. And what is actually crazy to see is that first time with my commentating experience and overall seeing of the track, we've got 2 drivers, Matt Z, in that Ferrari, setting the exact same lap time as Romania. That is something I've never seen before. in my life with league racing, apart from probably watching the PSGL streams and seeing how people get on in that. But that is stellar. The exact same lap time. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. But now, we've got a few more drivers coming across the line, like Wild is currently on a lap, I believe, right now in Sector 2, trying to dodge traffic left, right and centre. Turn number 5 now to 6, 7 and 8 we approach now. And a little bit of a slide out of turn 5 there, so not ideal for the McLaren at the moment. That might have helped him, that might have not. He could have lost a few couple of tenths there, which isn't ideal. But what is helping him is that Ferrari is moving out of the way, and he might have got a little bit of a, maybe a toe there, you could say, from the Ferrari. But he's not far off of what the Volcano was setting in 62, which is a 50.17 something, and he's on a 50.187, so he's not far off of Volcano. So as Wiles crosses the line, he goes to P7 at the moment of time with a 1 minute 11.245. Mega times coming in, and that's not a bad first banker lap, but so far let's go on board with the Aston Martin. That is pretty insane. He's done one lap, right? He's done one lap on this track and P1. So that is, yeah, that is quite crazy. You know, you go out on the track, you expect to do well, which all drivers, they are expecting and would like to do well, of course. But you got a driver who goes on the track and is like, yeah, I'm here. I'm just coming to set a lap time of a 110.972. So that is absolutely crazy. And yeah, we'll see if he can potentially improve. As I say that though, look at Volcano, a 1 minute 10.891. So that's probably quite close on where is it? On here. Yeah, it is. Probably quite close on times, and it is. Look at that. P2, 81 milliseconds behind, and P3 are 90 milliseconds behind. And then from P4, it starts to open up the gap-wise, but everyone within a second, all the way down to P number 17. That's what we love to see, and that is absolutely crazy. But let's go on board with Bream now, in that Red Bull, racing quite hard down to the start and finish, which you want to do. Foot on that throttle, and let's see how he gets on then. So, ERS open, or DRS open, ERS on, shall I say. Turns 2 and 3 now approaching us right now. Williams getting out of the way. There is a bit of traffic. Oh, the Alfa Romeo gets out of the way just in time. And the Aston Martin in front of the Red Bull. Hopefully the Aston Martin will oblige and politely move out of the way as we make our way to turn number 5 now, and then 6 and 7. But that Aston Martin does not seem to be moving. Now it does, and the Red Bull could have been affected by the dirty air turbulence, or may have actually picked up a very good slip, maybe. So we'll see what happens in the lap time. So far, 62. Are they going to be up on their time as we make our way down to turn 10? And he has 2 tenths down in his time at the moment. So could he have lost quite a bit of time with the Aston Martin not moving out of the way in Sector 1, maybe? Potentially. That could be a key factor as he's back into the pit lane. So that is shocking, and he'll be quite, what would you say, disappointed with that, to be honest. But let's go on board with Mad Jones and see how they get on the way down to turns 1, 2 and 3 as usual. Car turning and car stability looking pretty well so far. No issues whatsoever. Sector 1, it's not purple, but that's not a bad start. It's only 28 milliseconds up, which around about would get him not up at the grid at the moment, but close to I'd say P15, 14 at the moment. But this grid is quite close and quite tight, so we'll see if any drivers can get closer, as I've just seen now that Jamie has managed to get his nose into the 1 minute 10s. He's on a 1 minute 10.9 at once. That's a mega lap from Jamie there in the AlphaTauri. But Mad now on a flyer as he's a 10th up on his previous lap time. Let's see if he can find any more time in Sector 3. This is where you can find a lot of time. If you get the exit, cornering right, so up to the line now, what's it going to be? It's a 1 minute 3:10, and that puts him to P number 10, which I think he'll be very, very happy with. As lightly, hello, in that Williams goes to provisional pole now, a 1 minute 10.827. So the top two are separated by not a far margin. So that is pretty insane. As Skip now on a flyer, I believe, down in Sector 2 at the moment, having a little bit of a moment there at turn number 9. Now DRS activated, not turn number 9, sorry, turn number 8 with DRS now activated. We'll come back on board with them in just a minute. The Aston Martin letting the cars go by. He's probably had a moment somewhere and couldn't improve on their lap time, which is pretty unfortunate, but it is what it is. Ryan just crossed the line now. He goes to P6, a 1 minute 0.090. So like I say, drivers starting to find a lot more lap time and get into the 1 minute 10s. The skippers invalidated it, into the pit lane they come. Those tyres look absolutely disgusting. They don't look great. Yeah. That is not ideal for the Williams at the moment, shall I say. But let's find some more drivers, shall we? NLR, just cross the line, P12, garage. This is into the pit lane, into the pit lane. I think everyone's come back into the pits now. Yep. So we're going to get one more lap of qualifying, as there's not much improvements happening on the track. So we're probably going to get one more shot of some qualifying action, as there's an Aston Martin completely slipped on the track there. I don't think that's intentional. No, that was just Waz letting some of the drivers go and moving out the way, like the McLaren of Wild coming through now. And I don't think they're on a lap because their tyres don't look in great condition. So we'll see if they're pushing hard. And they are back into the pit lane. So yeah, there you are. That is your grid so far. And like I said, separated by not a far margin. That is scary, shall I say. And yeah. We'll just see what happens. 5 minutes to go. We've got a Volcano on a lap. Jamie into pit lane. Probably not happy with their lap time as they re-enter. Is Matt's on their lap? No, they're back to the pit lane, so they've had their time as well. So, we've been on board with Volcano before. Of course, there's not any other drivers to go on board with yet. I was thinking I'm going to get IRT Skip. I want to go on board with a lap of him because I know he can find a lot more pace. But he's just having a few moments. But yeah, I want to go on board with the Williams drivers indeed. We've not done much with those. So, yeah, that's one team that I'd like to go on board with once they exit the pit lane. And hopefully this might be them now. No, not. It's going to be an Alpine leaving the pit lane. And Volcano, he is so far going to be challenging potentially for pole position. They're not up by much, but it might be just enough to squeeze that AlphaTauri up one more position a little bit more. Yeah, it is a very scary close field, VJ. That is very, very true. So I'm going to see and wait what happens. Yeah, it's crazy. But look at that. Volcano 2 tenths up in Sector 2 alone. That is pretty mighty and pretty impressive. Like you're saying, VJ, they are absolutely on fire. IRT, absolutely on fire. But what can Volcano do? Can he challenge for position? Holy moly, he can. A 1 minute 10.551. That is a mega lap, shall I say, from the team there, AlphaTauri or CPI. Wow, that is crazy. Oh, did he? Well, fingers crossed he can get the win today, Kappa. Fingers crossed. We don't want any bottles, all right? No bottles if you want to win here at Ultimate Masters. Oh, that's cool, Kieran. I'll be definitely keeping my eye out on Skip because, like I say, I know Skip has race pace potential, so I'm quite excited to see what he can do. But on board of the McLaren now of Wild, one driver we're not seeing quite a lot in qualifying so far today. 2 minutes remaining. And how are they going to get on? Sector 1. They are 3 milliseconds down at the time. So not a very good start to qualifying. Once the Aston Martin moves out the way, is the Red Bull going to, fingers crossed, potentially move out the way? Not at the moment, as they're pushing quite hard to get around. But there is a Alfa Romeo, and McLaren backs off of that lap. That's a bit of an F in the chat. I can understand why that's happened, but it is what it is. But I can see the Williams are out on the track, so we're going to go on board. Why is my game frozen? Oh, it's back now. Never mind. My game is back. Bit of a panic attack there. Apologies about that. But lightly, here we go then. He is on the track. Let's see how they can perform. Start and finish line. DRS open. Down to turns 1, 2, and the lovely 3. How are they getting on? So far, running on board with the driver. Like I say, you want to hug that inside curve so much. The tyres aren't looking too great with the tyre marbles, so traction may be an issue, but he's 9 milliseconds up on his time at the moment as Wild has retired from the session. That is going to be possible reasons that he's had enough because he got blocked, or there was just too much traffic, so he couldn't improve on his time, and didn't have enough fuel probably. So yeah, Wild will be starting P6 in this race. Anyways then, on board with Lightly still, and he is a 10th down on their time, so that is not ideal for Lightly, but P2 is not a bad starting position, so hopefully they find a little bit more time, or they may go again. Let's go on board with Skip in that Williams, teammates with Lightly, but promising to do well and potentially get a race win today and be in contention for pole sitter, you could say. So sector 1, they are 13 milliseconds down on their time at the moment. Hopefully they can find some improvements. We're going to go back on board with Skip in just a second because I've seen that Ryan is about to cross that amazing line in the Mercedes. Are they going to improve? And they do to P5, a 1 minute 10.955. The Alfa Romeo next across the line. Wessel will stay P11. The Aston Martin of Waz is in the pit lane. Many more drivers crossing the line and not finding improvements on the track at the moment. We're going to go back on board with Skip then. They are 28 milliseconds down on their time. NLR, is that Cass? I think that's how you say it. Currently down on their time. Skip comes across the line and he stays P6. No improvement there whatsoever from the Williams, but like I say, P2 and P6 for IRT is not a bad lap time, so they should be pretty happy with that one. As Franks in that house is flying, currently in P9. Are they going to find a position up the grid a little bit more? And they do. They go to P number 5, a 1 minute 10.980. And I believe all that's left across the line is the Red Bull of Bream, who is coming into the pit lane. And yeah, there we have it. That is your grid sorted for qualifying. That was quite an exciting battle to see between IRT and CPI. That was quite fun to watch. I'm going to tell you right now, that was entertaining. Very, very much entertaining. So yeah, we're going to wait a little bit more for them to get to the pit lane. And yeah, but look at that gaggle of cars. What is the AI doing? That is just a gaggle right there, isn't it? Let's get on board with the Mercedes. Oh, I've just missed it. It's quite annoying, but it is what it is. There we are then. That is going to be your qualifying grid. Volcano 2 tenths ahead. of P2. That is quite a gap, to be honest. Quite a surprising gap as well. But P1 all the way down to P number, I want to say 18, all within just a fraction of a second. So that is absolutely crazy, shall I say. So, like VJ said, this race could be close, crazy action. So only time will tell. I'll see you guys in a few moments. I'm going to get an advert played and I'll be right back. I won't be too long. Ciao.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, hit me a chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get a plot, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said it, they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. It's not how to tell, that shit for the sale. Yeah.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora. Fallo dolcemente. Un anno, un mese, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.
Right then, we are back in the lobby, and I believe we are sorted. We shouldn't be racing anymore, so that is my error. I've managed to leave, rejoin, and click spectate. So right now, we're looking at the lovely pit wall, and which is quite depressing and quite sad because, you know, there's no pit crew doing the lovely T-pose. But enough about that. 1, 3, 4, 5 red lights here at Spain today. Who will come victorious and come on top? Which team will score the most points? It's lights out. And away we go. Lightly not getting the greatest of start. Jamie, though, getting a mega start there. And gets up into P2. Lightly down to P3. And there's positions happening left, right, and centre as Waz in that Aston Martin. Currently in P4. And making up some gains and positions. Look at that around the outside. That's going to be Frank in that Haas car. And that's going to be Ryan, P6 now. But I believe he was getting around a few drivers. Skip, trying to put pressure, but going backwards. Instead of forwards, that is not ideal. And already we've got a Wild trying to make some moves on that Haas Liam and gets around into P number 8. Could it be P number 7 now? As he's on those soft compound tyres as well. It's quite interesting from the McLaren. But so far, he stays in P8. And we've got a time penalty already on lap 1, which is going to be for something I don't know. So that's going to be a collision or somewhat. That's not ideal. I don't know, Kieran. I don't know why he's got a penalty. I'm not too sure, but whatever that penalty was, that should 100% be removed. Because, yeah, that shouldn't be a pen. I don't know why there's a pen there. But we'll come back to that in a mo and find out some more information if everyone else from the stream could tell me why he's got a penalty for whatever reason. But nevertheless, the lead stops again, and Volcano will take P2 and Jamie will settle for P1 at the moment. But what they're trying to do, CPI, is they'll try and swap positions and trying to break the DRS from behind lightly so those two can pull away. And if Lightly can stay behind and not get in with that DRS window, then CPI can just run away. But if Lightly can stay in, then it makes it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more interesting as we've got positions happening left, right, and centre. And that is Liam instead of going forwards in this race as he did at the start, he is now unfortunately going backwards as the Red Bull of Bream trying to challenge for P number 10 at the moment. As you guys may or may not know, every points position does count here at Ultimate Masters, as the point system is a little bit different, but there's wheel banging going on between Mad at the moment and that Red Bull. Bit of hefty wheel contact, hopefully no damage whatsoever, as Matt Z now making it around the Haas as they go wheel to wheel actually through that very risky double right-hander, quite a high-speed corner. So 2 cars going through there, not ideal, but the Ferrari managing to get through. And that Haas is not having a great day so far, as NLR and the Alpine trying to make a move there, and there was just a bit, I say a bit, there was no space given there whatsoever between Liam, so probably just hard racing. I didn't realise that the Alpine was trying to go for a move there. And yes, but we will see what happens as the race goes on. But so far, in P1 and 2, they are building that gap. They are working together. That momentum is working. And so far, it's going to work into their favour when they get DRS right about here. So Volcano can just pull away now from Lightly. And Lightly will need to push a little bit more if he would like to get some lovely, yummy DRS, as they say. As Wessel now making it up into P15, getting past that Ferrari. We also know Wessel in the Alfa Romeo can actually do really, really well on race pace. So we're going to keep an eye on him and see as he makes his way through the grid. As we know, Spain can be quite a tough, challenging circuit to overtake. Your best challenges are probably going to be on the start and finish, and probably in Sector 2 on the exit at turn 9 down to 10 with that another lovely dose of DRS, and probably turn 3, that right banker. You can see some moves there as the Ferrari is in the pit lane for switch to the hard tyres and front wing damage, which isn't ideal. And yeah, they're going to have a pretty struggle of a race, if you know what I mean. That's not ideal, but like I say, it is what it is. Now, as the race goes on to lap number 4, we're starting to see some gaps and momentum build on some of the drivers. P10 and P9 pulling away from P11. P11 currently 1.3 seconds back. But yeah, gaps like down in P13, 14 area. And like I said, the top 4, their strategy is not working so far, as Lightly is about 1.2 behind the top 2, but the top 4 has lost a little bit of a train to P3 at the moment. And we've got more yellow flags as the Alfa Romeo of Shen, I think that's how you say their name, spun again. And down to P17 they go, even though I believe they were in P17. But here we go then, Ryan getting some momentum, getting a bit more of a better exit, and on the better compound tyre as well. Block there, and bit of wheel contact there. Yeah, that was quite interesting why the Mercedes decided to move at that point. He knew he was blocked in, so he should have just backed off of that corner. And that might have ruined Frank's race in that Haas now. I think he's got some damage, and he has. His left winglet is missing on that front wing, which isn't ideal for downforce around this track. Of course, downforce is so important around this track. As Skip now trying to find a few more positions to get back into the rhythm of racing and push a little bit more in that car on those medium compound tyres. And after Ryan made that contact, he has got a time penalty, which I think he understands that he might deserve or might not. Depends what's going through his head right now, which is worth of 5 seconds, probably for making contact with some of the drivers as Mad in the Aston Martin makes a move up into P number 11. Franks drops to P12. And there is your tyre strategies. Wild in P5 and Roma and P9 off on the soft compound 4 laps at the moment, but Wild getting through into P4. Skip may have had a moment there or something. And there are drivers, or I say drivers, there are multiple drivers coming into the pit lane to make our way down the grid, and that's going to be the Aston Martin of Waz. A bit of contact with someone. Switching to the hard tyres and front wing change. Haas with no front wing, so that's not ideal. So they've had a contact with someone. And NLR in the Alpine on those hard tyres, going potentially to the end of the race, or hoping for a safety car. But no, that was a bit interesting by the Mercedes. I think he should have just waited for the move of course, he got blocked, and then I think he panicked or he understood or something, and then yeah, contact happened, and at that point, you're just a passenger. You're just there for the ride. But looking at Skip right now, he's putting that pressure all over the back of that McLaren. As the McLaren once again having a bit of a rear end loss. Those rears could now be dying on lap number 6. Of course, when you're around Spain, your soft tyre wouldn't be the best tyre to go for, as he's probably starting to lose his pace. Probably last lap or this lap now, as he will just be running out of grip, etc. But look at that straight line speed on that Williams, as we see a position change almost for the top 2. But I think Volcano backed out of that one, and look at that, lightly chilling in P3, and his teammate getting around that McLaren, and IRT will be very, very happy and relieved that the Williams has managed to get through. But maybe the move isn't done just yet, as that McLaren is still looking to challenge and pounce for another move. But the McLaren stays behind, and Skip and the team at IRT will be very delighted with that one, and bringing now in that Red Bull on those hard tyres, making his way up the grid shortly and slowly. It is working in his favour on those hard tyres. Wessel as well, like we said, a driver to keep an eye out for. Obviously, he's made up some position changes because there's been some contact with some drivers, but he's in P11. It's not a bad position gap for him at the moment. I believe we saw a team play there, or a team switch of positions between both Mercs, as Ryan enters the pit lane for a switch to those hard tyres potentially. So, yeah. Wessel now to the P10. Load more drivers making up positions, as Liam getting past. Is that the Red Bull? Yes, Red Bull right there, and getting past into P11, and now trying to make a charge up to P10. I believe he's on a fresh set of tyres after having contact with some drivers. No, he's not. So he's on 7-lap-old hard compound tyres. The softs will start to be dying off right about now. Well, they should be dying now, because if they're still alive, that amazes me. But whilst we're looking at on-track battles, your biggest loser out of position losses at the moment is Ryan, but he has just boxed for a fresh set of hard tyres, so that could explain why. But NLR, that could be your most position loss there. 5 places. Or we could say Waz, who had contact with a driver, I believe, down in P9, so that is not ideal. I had to change the front wing, of course. And the biggest winner with position gains is is it Rico, I believe is how you say the name? In P12, 7-up, and also Matzi, 7-up at the moment. So yeah, some drivers having a good first half of the race, some drivers not having a good first half of the race, as Jamie is down to P2, as Volcano switches with his teammate and now leads, you could say, the pack. Around turn number 3 we go, the right banker. Through sector 1 to sector 2 we go very, very shortly, and so far the gap is around about 2.7, so that's not too bad, as I believe Skip is trying to defend from behind, but this could be his time to push a little bit, and this will help this will help him out quite a lot as well, as that Red Bull is trying to fight really, really hard with that McLaren of Wild, and Wild will not be happy about that, because that is distracting him. As I say that though, Skip has spun at turn 8, and it's actually stuck. So if reset the track is on, that is fine. In my opinion, that shouldn't be a penalty, because as you can see, he was stuck. So in my eyes, that is more than fine. But what isn't fine is he's now down in P12, had a spin at turn 8, then he got stuck on the grass, it seems. But yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to, but if you get stuck, then you can. So I wouldn't say it'll be looked into. If it is, then yeah, it's not very fair, if you know what I mean, if that was looked into, but it shouldn't be. But Skip now down in P12, not ideal, but still a long race to go. As we know, Skip is good on racecraft and race pace, so if they just build again, they will definitely find their way potentially back into the top 5 or top 4, depending on what the race pace is like. And as I was talking about Skip, Rico in that Red Bull had a massive moment down there at turn 1. Managing to save the car though, which is pretty impressive. And there we go, the McLaren over humongous pressure now from Matsi in that Ferrari as Matsi finds a way through. And I think Roma got around the McLaren too. So not ideal, but those soft tyres are definitely starting to die off now on lap number 10. So at this moment, Wild is just being swallowed up as down the inside the Alfa Romeo of Westall goes, but a little bit too deep. And Mad says, thank you very much. I'll take that position back. There's a bit of contact there. Almost spun the Aston Martin, Westall did, but he managed to back off just ever so slightly and keep the car going in a forward motion, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that was pretty close, pretty tough, but it is what it is. As Wild is trying to make a move on that Ferrari, put a little bit more pressure, and is still on those soft tyres, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see how that comes to life very, very shortly. So far, not much happening for the top 2. Like I say, they're just chilling on the same strategy, I believe it is. Both on the medium tyres. 3.3 is the gap behind. They're just switching and chilling. So yeah. Oh, as I say that, Waz is out, and that's a safety car. That's a full-blown safety car. Never mind. Apologies for the silence there, but I had to realise what was going on, and I just looked at the top of my screen, and we have got a full-blown safety car. So that'll really help out Skip there, as he's had a moment there at turn 8, earlier on in the race, sorry, and that'll really help him out now. Bunch up at the pack, but what that won't help is CPI, as they were having an advantage, but they both boxed. They're going for the double stack at CPI. This could be a massive gamble if it goes wrong, if they get blocked. But here we go then. Both going on the same tyres, probably going to be the hards. Are they going to get blocked, or is it going to be a decent double stack? And is likely going to get up a position. And oh no, Jamie has been held in the pit lane, and he's unfortunately only lost out on one position, as the Red Bull there almost got ahead of the AlphaTauri, but likely finds his way up into P2, and it is chaos in that pit lane. I'll tell you right now, as Rico comes out into P10, and as Skip was held as well as the cars were coming out of the pit boxes, and stays in P12. But that is not a massive issue, as Ryan is going very, very slowly on that straight down to turn 1, probably trying to keep below the delta. As we know, the delta in this game can be quite interesting. So yeah, that could be why he was going very, very, very slowly. But nevertheless, we go back on board with Volcano, and yeah, double stack wasn't too bad. Like I said, Jamie probably knew he was only going to lose, what, one position, which isn't the end of the world. So if he can get a really good restart, he can get past that Williams, and they are literally flying sky high. That's all I can say. They'll be flying sky high. And I would say the interval does seem to be a little bit broken, because I do know that Bream is not a second behind. So we'll give it a minute just to update and see what happens as they cross the line. Fingers crossed there'll be no major issues with that. But let's have a look then as they cross the start and finish. Is it going to reset? Fingers crossed it does. Here we go. That's much better, isn't it? That's much better. There we are. So, safety car will probably be in lap 15. The safety car will potentially be in, as of course all the cars have got to bunch up. So that's going to be Franks that needs to catch up, Don that needs to catch up, ERT in the Ferrari needs to catch up, TTL known as Shen needs to catch up. Same with LNR in the Alpine needs to catch. And then once again, once we wait for the lights to go out again, I wouldn't say the lights to go out, but it's kind of going back to racing speed, so you could say lights out and why we go for the restart. But no, we're just waiting, and we should be, like I say, getting under the way very, very shortly. But what we can actually look at, which would be quite interesting, may I say, is track position. Because we know that some drivers got held up in that pit lane, so who's lost and who's gained? So Wessel has actually gained, I think, a position up into P9. And yeah, so that is quite surprising. Like your top 3, that is what it was like at the start of the race. They are now basically where they started. They're where they started, and the safety car, never mind, as they all got up just in the nick of time. That's a bit early for the safety car to come in, but it's in. So is Lightly going to be getting a good launch here as the drivers are lining up their tyres. Lightly just waiting to get underway, and we are going racing once again. Here is Spain at Ultimate Masters. Lightly has gotten a pretty good reaction here. He's turned on that battery. Is he going to make a challenge? Down to turn 1. Jamie looking, and Lightly at the moment stays behind, but Jamie was looking up the inside there and stays in P3 as the Red Bull pressuring behind from Roma in P5 at the moment, trying to make a position up to P4, but we'll see what happens there. And there is more chaos happening as we head backwards and backwards, down and down and down the grid, and that's going to be some more contact between some drivers at the back of the grid. But look at that, the Williams defending hard, and that's going to be Skip defending very, very hard there as both Alpine teammates came together there. That was a bit interesting. And Skip trying to get back into the rhythm, make up some positions, and get much up more into the grid as well. It's a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that's going to be for not staying on the track. That's really going to drop him a few places, as everyone right now is within a second. And look at that, Skip getting around the Red Bull. See, I told you Skip is very good at race pace, and I've been told by, I believe it was Kieran as well in the chat, that his race pace is really, really good when he's, you know, in the groove. And so far, Skip is showing that. Skip today, right, is probably going to be the highlight of today's stream. He's had his moments, but he's shown some very good race pace and good overtakes. So that is very, very good if I say so. I'm very, very happy with Skip today. My highlight of today's race. Yeah, look at that Aston Martin right now on Mad. Right on the rear. Ooh, that was scary. As I said, right on the rear wing. They almost came together. Look at this, hard racing between the two. There's a bit of contact there, but the McLaren trying to fight hard, and there's more contact with the Aston Martin and the the Haas of Liam coming together, and not Liam, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry, Frank's. Oh, it's not going very well. I get my words mixed up, and I'm getting drivers mixed up. So those two have come together at turn number 5, I believe it is. Turn number 5? Yeah, turn number 5. Yeah, not pretty, and yeah, not ideal. Yeah, I know he dropped down to P11, but he is showing that he is race worthy of race pace. You know, he had a very good qualifying session. He had a very good start to the race, getting around the McLarens and having a battle with a few drivers. But I would say it's just been the highlight so far, because it just goes to show, if you drop down to P11 or P12, you can still regain your positions if you push hard, or you just chill and wait for the right moments. Like I was saying, it's not always about being in first. Like first is obviously amazing, you know, for teams. You know, they'll be happy with first. You know, most points gained, most points brought into the team, and brings you closer and closer to the trophy. But when it comes to racing, in my opinion, of course, I love watching the top 3, because top 3 battles can be insane sometimes, you know, going 3 wide, 2 wide, 4 wide even, when 4th place gets involved. But, no, I like seeing drivers, you know, in like P3, P4 area, having a bit of a moment, and then regaining their position from P11 or P12. So, yeah. But that is my opinion. But, of course, you're welcome to any others, you know. And I can agree with you as well. Bream as well is another highlight on today's stream. He has shown some, I don't know what to say, just excellent race pace today. I don't think he's not had any major moments, so he's just chilling. And he's in P4, so yeah, that is very good work from Ariel today. Very good work from Bream. I can agree with you there, 100%. Not going to disagree, because he is putting the pressure on the cars up ahead. And lap 17 we go to now. He's on those medium tyres, which I believe are fresh tyres. That sounds like a bit of a silly answer, but it is 5 lap old medium tyres. They should go to the end of the race. If they do, he can quickly get past this AlphaTauri who's on the hards, and he should be able to pull away because he's on the faster tyre, so it should just work. So, everyone now get into a nice little bunched up DRS train, choo, as Roma is about 1.9 seconds behind P4 at the moment. Wild trying to make up some more positions after getting that 3-second time penalty, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. So he'll just have to get his head down and push hard. And Skip still chilling in P9 at the moment, but I have been watching the interval times, and he is ever so slightly getting a little bit faster, getting better exits in the car up ahead, and he's gaining just a little bit, so keep an eye on that, as Liam as well, making it past NLR in the Alpines. So both Alpines, P13 and P14, been a bit of an interesting one for Alpine today, you know, or so I should say LNR, because their drivers almost came together. Well, they did actually make contact, to be honest, in let's say on the track somewhere. So yeah, not ideal for teammates to collide, but sometimes it just happens, you know, it just happens, and there's not much you can do about it. But here goes Matsi then on the Mercedes. Obviously Mercedes with no DRS, and hello, hang on a minute, what's happening here? We've got a switch for the lead going on. As I said, sorry, Matsi up into P5 and gets the move done. But I was a bit surprised there. So Lightly's now taken the lead of this race. Volcano goes to P2, Jamie in P3. No swaps happening yet for third and fourth. They're still in the similar positions where they were. But now that the Williams are Lightly is in front, could he park the bus a little bit and help his teammate out? Like, you never know. Team play can be a massive key factor if they're trying to score the most amount of points. So, we'll see what happens there, as Liam is just chilling right now, trying to get on the rear wing of that Mercedes and do get up some more positions. And now Matsi will try to push on hard and try and catch that P4 train, you could say. Let's go back on board with Volcano and see if he makes the move again, or if he might stay behind, but he's not. He's going to go for the move, and Lightly is not going to fight this one. Is Jamie going to fight it? No, Jamie's going to stay behind. He's looking, trying to let the Williams know that I am going to come through at some point, but the Williams will just go back to P2, chill for now, and etc. As there is more carnage happening behind, and that was Liam getting past the Mercedes. Oh, that is not what you want to see. Was that contact between both teammates? I'm not too sure. But one of the NLR cars are out of the session. P16, and he's out. That is going to be our third retirement of the session. Because ignore me right at the bottom, because me being me, I forgot to pick spectate. Yeah. Oh, Mad going off track there. Into the wall there. And front wing damage. Not ideal. Right then, drivers peel into the pit lane. And what are they going to go for? What are they going to go for? Top 3 are on hard tyres. 5 laps on hard tyres. They might box us a fresh set of mediums, maybe. But Frank's come to the pit lane for a fresh set of soft tyres. I saw. No, he's on the mediums. Never mind. I saw softs. I think he switched to softs on the restart or something. So let's see what Volcano does. What's he doing? As there's a big gaggle of cars behind us. What's he doing? What's he going for? Oh, wow, that's a big gaggle of cars into the pit lane. So some drivers could get hold here. Or held, sorry. As Wild stays out on the track. Everyone is going... Not everyone, sorry. Most drivers are going to the soft tyres. Or going to the medium, sorry. But we'll see what happens. I wouldn't say the softs are your best bet, but someone... Or some drivers are maybe taking the gamble. But there we are. So... Oh, that's not ideal. Or is it ideal? It's not too bad, actually. Everyone coming out in the same positions. Obviously, gaggle of cars in the pit lane right now. But not too bad. Yeah. Just the same order as it was, basically. But I can see contentions are high right now in the chat, you know. Yeah. But just gotta play the waiting game again. So lap 21, safety car is out. Let's go and see what penalties everyone has got. So Wild, 3 seconds. Skip. Oh no, what's happened to Skip? He's got a 5-second time penalty. That'll be for speeding in the pit lane. That is not what you want to see. Liam, 3 seconds. Ryan, 5. Enrico. Rico, 3 seconds. That is devastating for some guys who have been speeding the pit lane or having contact on the track. That is not what you want to see. Devastating scenes for them indeed. They'll be feeling the pressure now. They've got to work hard to, you know, build a gap and try and not lose so many special positions. So, yeah. Like I say, we're just waiting. But, yeah, it shouldn't be too long. But we wait, we move on. Like I say, we'll see. Like I say, if anything silly happens on track, reports do open. Feel free to report it. And FIA stewards will look into it. And yeah, that's all I can say. But fingers crossed nothing bad happens on the restart. That would be nice, you know. I can understand what you mean by that. Especially if you're trying to, you know, get what would you say, a good result for your team. And yes, that's a good point, Kieran, actually. We should actually look at tyres because I didn't get a full impact. And that's interesting. So safety car is going to be in this lap. Lightly on the soft tyres. Interesting. Skip on the soft tyres. So some drivers taking the gamble and some drivers going for the more safer side of things and going for a fresh set of mediums. So let's go back up to P1 and see when they're going to react and when they are going to go. And pretty much, yeah. Let's see what happens here at Ultimate Masters Spain. That's a bit of wheel banging going on, or bit of wheel banging, I say, bit of front wing contact. Hopefully there's no damage for Lightly on his wing. The restart is off. A Volcano, a pretty poor reaction you could say, but it's not too bad as Jamie gets away well, and Brim gets away a little bit better than the AlphaTauri is at the moment of time. Roma trying to put pressure, but Ryan putting pressure already and get into P10 and getting past Liam. On lap number 23. We've got Matsi under pressure from Roma behind at the moment. We're going to go back on board with Bream, sorry. He's not doing too bad. As hang on a minute, has Wild had a moment? He has indeed, and Volcano has slipped away into P1. Now it's going to be Lightly. Hello. He's getting quite aggressive now, going up the inside there of the McLaren and takes P number 2 at this moment of time. Jamie is going to be the next principal to try and get past the McLaren. The McLaren is not finding that race pace that he would like to find. Jamie is going to stick it up the inside. And is he going to get the move done? He is. And that McLaren is going to lose 2 positions in 1 corner. So Wild, he should have boxed, in my opinion, because right now instead of going forwards, he is going backwards, which isn't ideal. But it happens, as Lightly sets the fastest lap time of a 1:13 something, but then it's Ryan, a 1:13.028. That is mega. Right then, Wessel getting drops to P10 as Ryan is flying on those soft tyres, which is to be predicted at the moment of time. The soft tyres are going to be so much better than the mediums at this moment of time if you know exactly how to use them to according. And Roma now getting up into P6 as Wild is just literally just a blockage, you could say. He is going backwards instead of forwards, which isn't ideal. Skip now making a move and up into P6 on those soft tyres. He'll be flying for a few laps. He'll be hoping that he can build a 5-second gap to get a good result for his team today after some things that happened on track. Like I say, it's nothing biggie. It happens. It's just racing. And yeah, but IRT, Lightly's done well. Nice comeback from Skip at the moment. But it's just that 5-second tyre policy, which I believe he'll be a little bit worried about. But it's not a massive issue. But Lightly right now on the back of Volcano. DRS not enabled yet. It's now been enabled. So we'll get the dose of DRS at the exit of turn 9 if Lightly can stay within DRS, which I believe he can on the soft tyres. Skip now into P5. Absolutely, like I said, flying on those soft compound tyres. Right then, Wild, like I say, literally just a blockage at this point of time. Jamie trying to stay within 8/10 right now, as Lightly has a little bit more battery than Jamie at the moment. Jamie's struggling a little bit, of course. Lightly is on the soft tyres, that's why he could be struggling just a little bit. But Lightly has now got DRS, and we're going to keep on board with the top two because potential move is about to happen for P1. And then Lightly will just push like fire and try and break that DRS gap if he can. But he is quite far behind. He's about 7/10 behind. He's had a bit of a moment somewhere. Or Volcano is just using a bit of battery on some corner exits. Here we go then. DRS enabled. And Lightly isn't gaining so much that he would want to be gaining right now on that AlphaTauri. As Jamie also has the DRS. And Brain as well has that DRS. Ryan making it up into P6. Getting past that Ferrari. But the Ferrari may come back. But Ryan also on those soft tyres. Skip in P5 still and catching the cars up ahead ever so slightly. But using a little bit of battery, of course, as racing laps and racing time is running out here at Spain. So yeah, it's getting a little bit intense now for some drivers. I just want to see because I know that there's going to be a swap, but I don't know when it's going to happen. It might happen this lap, as Lightly is ever so close to that rear wing of the AlphaTauri of Volcano, who is racing for CPI. So let's see what happens here. On the exit of turn 14 we go now. DRS is enabled, that rear wing, as you see, the flap is open, and look at that, there it is, there it goes. He is in the tow, he's in the slip, and he goes for P1, and there's a swap. And now, can Lightly hold on to it? Or will Volcano try to challenge, as he is already on the rear wing of that Williams and might make a challenge into turn 4 if he is close enough, but he isn't. He's going to stay behind for now. And the issue is, if Volcano keeps pushing quite hard, of course, his teammate Jamie could be vulnerable, as he could lose the DRS, as Bream is now looking like he's turning up the heat, he's turning up his power, and he is starting to push a little bit more than expected. A stellar performance drive from Bream today. So, yeah. Mega performance. He's just been chill. He's just been patient. And if you're patient and chill, you can get finishing positions like this. He's just chilling right now. And it's great. Absolutely great. As there's been a swap, I believe, between Skip and Ryan. And they have swapped. And Ryan's a P5, Skip down to P6. And those soft tyres may be struggling now, which isn't ideal. As you can see, Volcano is right on the rear wing there. of Lightly. And there's a switch. There's a switch again. Jamie. Not much is happening with Jamie at the moment. So yeah, they could be in trouble as Lightly goes up the inside of that Mercedes-Benz, or Petronas, sorry, and makes up to P5 and P6 for Ryan. It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off, and it's crazy. There is a caution flag out, and that's going to be the Haas of Franks. Had a moment there. Down to 16th he goes. And yeah, but so far, the way things are going, Skip and Ryan, unfortunately, will go backwards instead of forwards, as they can't break the gap to the drivers behind. So if they keep going on, they won't be scoring as many points today. To the top 3 we go. Not much is changing, and not much is happening. I do apologise if the audio is not sounding great. I've been told it is apparently an F123 audio bug glitch that EA have not fixed yet. So that is why you're probably hearing a little bit of static. There's not much I can do on my end. It is slightly annoying, but like I said, there is not much I can do. So yeah, I do apologise. As hello, look at Matsy getting past the Williams there. Down to turn 1 we go. He has a massive moment there. I am so surprised. That's quite lucky that he's managed to avoid Skip there. Massive moment there. And backed out of it. But here goes Wessel. He's trying to poke his nose in. He's trying to poke his nose in, and he does. Is he going to get P7? He is going to get P7. What a lovely move that was. Into turn 5 we go now. And confirmation, he has got P7. And that is going to be disappointment for Roma in that Mercedes. Having a bit of a moment there and spinning or something. Having a moment and just down to 13th. So, not scoring as many points as he would like to. Yeah, just devastating what happens, you know. Like sometimes hard racing, it can be harsh. And some drivers do get slightly annoyed by it. As Matsy once again having a moment there and is now under pressure once again from the Haas behind. Is the Haas going to get a decent exit? He's not close enough to get a stellar exit, shall we say, but he is quite close saying that. Never mind. I just realised that now. He turns on the battery as this audio glitch is really, really annoying. What is going on with this audio glitch? Why is it happening now? Yeah, so Ryan in P6 at the moment, and Skip in P5, those two battling it out. It seems to have fixed itself for now, so I do apologise once again. There's not much I can do, which is so annoying, but we'll have to move. And yeah, so we saw there, Liam up to P8 now, getting past Matsy. Matsy, a bit of damage maybe from that hard braking. You never know what happens, but that's what's happened, and in the result of that, he is falling, which is devastating. Right then, on to lap 31, we're about to approach now, and Bream is actually challenging now the AlphaTauri. He's trying to think where to position his car and where to go. The challenge is happening right now, on board with the Red Bull driver. The double right-hander coming up now on the exit of turn number 14. DRS is going to be on, and the Red Bull is just far too back to make a pounce. After all that commotion, Jamie's about 5/10 behind, and Lightly is just chilling behind at the moment for P2. Potentially go for the move on the last lap. You never know, it could happen. As Ryan makes his way back into P5, and Skip under pressure from that Alfa Romeo of Wessel, who is doing a stellar race today as well. Another highlight on today's stream. And he may make a move up the inside, and he is indeed. A little bit of wheel banging, but nevertheless, he is still going to be there with the car. And they are still there. And, oh, he can't find a way through. That was quite decent. I say decent, amazing defense from Skip there. But Skip, not able to break the toe, you could say. So he'll probably find himself all the way down to P... I don't know, actually. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at... Let's go back on the board of the top 3. Penalties... He has 8 seconds now. Oh, that's not ideal. That has, yeah, ever so slightly unfortunately really ruined his race. Here we go then. Jamie piling the pressure on that Williams lightly. And Lightly was looking. He was looking. Same with Jamie. He was looking, but couldn't get the move done. And now it gets intense. So we're going to go on board with the top 3 and try and stay on board with the top 3 if nothing crazy happens behind. But that was close. Now we know what's going to happen. They're going to save their batteries and get ready for the last lap battle. As after all that commotion, Jamie is the one with the lowest batteries. Likely's got a little bit more than even P1 at the moment. What about Bream? Bream has got some battery, but what I'm saying is he's got a lot more battery than Jamie. So Jamie could be in a bit of trouble here. So that Red Bull has got to stay close enough to even make a chance to pounce for potential P3. Potential P2, we'll find out. Lap 32 out of 33, the penultimate lap. Here we go then. It's time for some awesome battling that is about to commence at Spain. Lap 33 we go now through turn 14. Battery is going to be on, and now it's down to the wire and it's down to the line. Defense happening from Volcano, going to the right to defend. Which way Light is going to go? He's going to go for the inside there, and he takes P1 for now. Volcano will try to come back up the inside. He is still there. There is contact, and Volcano is round. I can't confirm that. Volcano is round. Jamie under humongous pressure now from Bream in the AlphaTauri now, and yeah, it is not all so well for Volcano, and CPI may have to look into that one, but it's quite a hard you know, bit. But to be honest, riding on board with Lightly, he did leave the space. I believe it's just some contact or just a bit of understeer from the AlphaTauri El Volcano, but I did see he did leave the space. So quite unfortunate that that's happened, but you know, reports are open. Feel free to look into it, or feel free to report it to me. They can look, so the FAA can look into it. But let's see, on board with Lightly now, as he comes around turn 14, he will take the win at Spain, and IRT will be very happy with that result today. Jamie P2, Bream P3, P4 going to Ryan, and a 5-second time penalty, unserved penalty. That is not ideal, and there it is, down to P10. Skip will go. On the marks with P12 now for Skip, and Skip has left the session, but that is devastating for some drivers today. A last lap battle, and yeah, you know, it happens, a contact, but at the end of the day, it is just hard, fair racing, you know. What happened, Jamie? Excuse me. But yeah, like I say, guys, feel free to report it. Don't start any commotion, obviously, in Discord chats. I know you probably could be hot-headed at this time. Just a friendly reminder that, you know, don't, you know, go on the Twitch or any other platforms, live social media, and just, you know, start, you know, arguing. Just, like I say, just report it, and it will get dealt with, and it will be looked into. But no, apart from that, it's unfortunate, but we had some good racing today. Lightly for the win, and Jamie P2, and Reem in that Red Bull in P3. I can agree. In my opinion, he left enough space, but I could be wrong. So I'm gonna back out of it. And like I say, a report, feel free to, and it will be dealt with. And as you saw there, FHX Flynn, that is me. I forgot to press spectate, as I am a donut. Am I a donut? Yeah, a donut. We'll go with that, a donut. But nevertheless, that was some awesome racing today from all drivers. Unfortunate contact on last lap battles on the final lap. So we will see what happens. If anything happens, do make sure to check the Discord to keep up to date with social media posts, If you've done any reports, keep an eye on that because that's where they'll be pinged, and everything else. And classification will be posted in the Discord as well for team results. Also on the Twitter with the little podium PNG maker that VJ does with his awesome designer team. Because if it wasn't for him and the awesome designer team, I would not be streaming these spectacular overlays that I get to use week in, week out. So that's awesome. But no, guys, we're going to leave it there today. Thank you to all of you guys for supporting the stream today. And I will catch you guys next week again for Old Canada. So Canada, interesting track. Quite a hard track to overtake as well. Could be possible rain. We'll see what happens. I might be on my own again. We'll see what happens with that. I may try and find someone so you've got two of us and not just me talking all the time, because I sometimes can be a little bit boring, and some people do tell me in DMs say that is true. So we'll see what happens. Guys, I'll catch you in the next one. We're going to finish off with an awesome advert. I love that Pepsi advert still. Don't know why. I just love that one. Just the Pepsi can. And yeah, just go and look at it and let me know which part of the advert break is yours favorite. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me a chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a fossil, they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Telling the point out who said that they run it, bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale, yeah.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora. Fallo dolcemente. Un anno, un mese, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.